What is going on, YouTube? Doubles Collectibles back with another video. Today I'll be talking about an experience that I went through over the weekend where someone actually tried to scam me. So let's get into it. First off, I ended up waking up, I believe it was Sunday morning, and I ended up getting a DM on my Instagram from like a random account that I don't follow. They don't follow me, or maybe they just followed me or something. And then the message was, "Is this card still available?" So I messaged the person back. I was like, "What card?" Because he didn't send me any card. All he said was just like, "Is the card still available?" He sends me a picture of my card, but then he also sent me a link. I did not click the link, so I do not know what was in the link. But if anybody that you don't know ever sends you a link on Instagram, do not just click that link. They could be trying to hack your Instagram. They could be trying to get some type of information from you. Do not click any link. So that was the first, red flag from this whole situation. And then I ended up saying that the card was still available because I didn't click the link. I didn't know. It said something Instagram, but I didn't click it. So I just sent him, I just said it was still available. He asked for the price. I ended up setting him the price, and then he asked for the payment method. This was the second thing that was kind of sketchy to me because he didn't even like negotiate. He didn't try to get any type of deal or anything. He just asked me for my payment method. So then I was still like really hesitant on this. So then when I ended up sending him my payment method, I ended up sending him Venmo. So I sent him the Venmo, I sent him my information, and then he ended up sending me a screenshot of like payment decline, needs like an email or something. I sent him my email because that's just like a normal thing for Venmo. Like you can send people like your email for them to pay you, but it's not a normal thing for the payment to decline when I sent him like my QR code. Like that was another red flag. It was just like they shouldn't even have needed my email. So I already knew something was up. So then when he ended up sending me another screenshot trying to say that he sent the payment in, but told me to check my email. And I was just like, if I got a normal thing from Venmo, I would just see it in my account. There's no, I gotta go check my email for it. It's either I got the money or I didn't get the money. So then I ended up seeing that he sent me like a fake email. It said like Venmo131 at gmail.com. Fake email. Venmo won't really email you, and they're definitely not going to email you off of a Gmail account for just getting like a basic transaction. So I just thought I would end up telling you guys the story. I ended up posting the guy's Instagram on my Instagram story so that everyone can see that the guy was a scammer. Do not do business with him. So I just thought I would tell everybody about this stuff, and then I'm gonna tell you guys 5 red flags tips to avoid. If you guys see these red flags and someone's trying to do business with you on Instagram, it's probably a scam. I got 5 red flags and I got 5 green flags. So if they check off these lists of requirements and they look like they're legit, you can try to do a transaction with them, but you still want to be safe on the transaction, which is you want to go do goods and services, which I'll get into later. So my first red flag was this account was they had no posts. They only had like 44 followers, and they were following like a couple people. So that was already the first red flag. If the person doesn't have no pictures or nothing, good chance it's a scammer account. If there's barely anybody following them, definitely a scammer. The other one was that he didn't really negotiate. I'm not saying that like every time people are going to negotiate and try to lowball you and stuff like that, but people usually are trying to get deals or something. So you might have to, do a couple offers before the deal closes. But there are also people who are really easy to work with where you just set up a price, it looks good to them, and then you guys can do it. But the fact that there was nothing like that was another type of red flag for me. The third red flag was they sent me a link. Like they sent me a random link. If you sending me a link, I automatically assume that you're trying to hack into my Instagram and stuff like that. Anytime someone tries to send you like an external link, do not click it. They can mess up your phone, hack your stuff. Just do not trust any type of random links. Like that's crazy to me. Do not be sending me no random links. The fourth was to check the email. Always check the email, because I ended up seeing the email, the confirmation thing. Some people might get scammed by that, really thinking that it's Venmo. Like it doesn't have like the Venmo like in border or icon right next to it or anything like that. Read the end of it. It said like 131 at Gmail. Venmo is not going to do no Gmails. Compare it to your past Venmo, emails or your past statements, because they're going to be making all these goofy, phony accounts just trying to scam you. And just do your due diligence. And then the fifth thing, it's not even a red flag, it's just a fifth thing that you should do is that you should report them on Instagram, and then you should post them on your story and just get the word out so that anybody who follows you and stuff like that, you don't know if they might try to go after them next. So your whole community, everybody that you're connected with, everybody that you're communicating with, just post it on your story. Let them know, like, hey, this guy's a scammer. Tell them to report them. So hopefully Instagram will take them off, and then, you know, nobody gets scammed, because this is just the bad side of the hobby. Like, I love the hobby. I've been in it for over 3 years. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've made a lot of good connections and a lot of friendships, but there's also a little bit of a dark side where people will try to scam you and try to take your things from you. And that's just not right. You know, I want everybody to have fun. I want everyone to have a good experience. And the better community that we can have, or that we can just take out all these scammers and get all these people out, you know, the better the hobby will be for now and for the future. So getting into that, let's go into 5 green flags, or some checklist stuff that I like to do when I try to do business on Instagram. So the first one is that, like, I like to see people with a decent following. I'm not saying that the person needs to have 1 million followers, but if you see that they have like 2,000, 3,000 followers, 4,000 followers, reputation's everything in the hobby. I feel like your word is really big in the hobby. Like, if you say you're going to do a deal, or you say you're going to mail something, like, your word is key. So I feel like a lot of people, if you have a decent following, you're not going to want to risk that. Like, I'm not going to try to scam somebody out of $200, $300, $400 when I can make, you know, $10,000 deals later on down the line, because people know that I'm good for it. People know that the card I'm going to get you is the card that I described, and that it's going to be in good condition, and that it matches up with everything that I send you is authentic. Like, I send you the actual picture. There's no send you a picture of an eBay card and then I send you one that's like creased and stuff in person. Like, none of that. I send you the legit stuff. So I feel like if you have a decent following and you take, you know, the hobby serious, then you should definitely, you know, you should have some followers or some people that can at least vouch for you, which is my second thing, is that a lot of these pages now have a legit check. So it's just people in the past who have done deals with them, and then they end up commenting that, like, it was a legit transaction. If you go onto my Instagram at Doubles Collectibles, I have like a little story, legit check. It's just some of the past deals the past deals I've done on Instagram for people to know that I'm legit. You can go talk to the people. Like, I always tag the people that I worked with or I did the deals with. You can go talk to them. They'll say, you know, blah, blah, blah. He ended up sending it on time, sending the tracking and everything like that. And, you know, it was a smooth transaction. There was no scamming or anything, and both parties were happy at the end of the day. So my third tip for trying to do Instagram sales is to send the money through PayPal goods and services. When you end up doing it through PayPal and you end up getting scammed or something, you can go through PayPal to try to get your money back, and you can, like, dispute the transaction, and you can tell them, like, hey, like, the person ended up scamming me. I never got the thing that they promised me. Like, let me get my money back. That's a lot better than if you ended up trying to send it through, like, Cash App, or you end up sending them crypto or something like that. Like, it's gone. You send that thing in crypto, the dude never sends it to you. It's gone. You're not getting that money back. But if you send it through PayPal goods and services, you have a really good shot at getting your money back, and you're protected under PayPal. So that's what I would do, at least for, like, the first transaction. And then if you're comfortable with the person, maybe then you can end up doing, like, Cash App, Zelle, and, like, different platforms like that to try to get the money, because a lot of people want to be protected under PayPal goods and services. Like, if it's your first deal with me, I don't mind doing PayPal goods and services, because everybody should feel protected and should feel safe when you're doing your transaction. Like, nobody should be offended by somebody doing PayPal goods and services, because, like, you don't know the person at the end of the day, and you're not trying to get scammed. And it's a crazy world that we live in. So the fourth thing I would do is also ask for tracking. I always like to have tracking, or I always send out the tracking. Like, right when I end up mailing out the card, boom, I end up sending you the tracking. You can end up tracking the card, because, you know, you don't want to be responsible for, like, lost mail or trying to scam somebody if it does get lost in the mail, because I've had times where I've purchased stuff off of eBay and stuff. Well, only off of eBay, but I could definitely see it happening off of Instagram, where the card literally got lost in the mail service. Like, the person, like, somebody who worked at USPS or FedEx or something, they ended up just taking the card. and they just finessed it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've definitely seen some cards just get lost in the mail. So I definitely say ask for tracking. At least there's some transparency where it's just like, hey man, like you could see that it got stuck in the mail, and it's not that you just try to finesse somebody and that you never sent the card. It's like, I did send it, but it got messed up in the mail. And then the fourth one is that, if they're clear with communication, they're responsive, they seem like a good person, they pass all of the following criteria, they have a decent following, they have a legit check, they seem pretty legit. You see them actively posting, or people constantly, they're doing other deals on their stories. You can see them finishing deals with other people, maybe message one of the people that they end up doing a deal with and being like, hey, is this guy legit? Or maybe hitting up a few, because some of the scammers might have like a few fake accounts where they'll be like, oh yeah, like I'll vouch for this guy, but it's just like 4 accounts that's all just one person. So I would definitely, I don't know, see if there's like a California account and then like maybe like a Philadelphia account that both did transactions with them, and that both, that seem like legit accounts where they have a bunch of people, they seem legit. And then still do goods and services so that you could be protected, because you never know what's going to happen when you end up sending that money. People will do the craziest things for money, man, and they'll just take advantage of the hobby just to try to get, just a little bit up on other people. But if everything seemed clear, good communication, smooth deal, they negotiate with you fine. They said everything was good. They send you the tracking. Congratulations, you just did a deal on Instagram and it worked out perfectly fine. So if you're here to the end of the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys have gotten scammed or have had similar situations where people have tried to scam you. And yeah, that's it, man. Those Collectibles, and we out. Peace.